Uncle, they're just jumping on the Avatar bandwagon. They're not true fans. Prince Zuko, everyone starts their Avatar journey somewhere. Now there are more friends to share a nice cup of tea with. Sokka mastered all 4 non-bending styles from each nation. When you realize The Last Airbender has stood the test of time and still talked about 12 years after the finale. The only reason the Toph character is played by a big 6 feet 5 inches buff man and the boy in the iceberg play is because everyone the writer spoke with about her didn't want to admit they were defeated by a 12-year-old girl. Yawns. I'm going to sleep. Katara, my mother used to sleep. Then you've learned nothing. No, I've learned everything. And I've had to learn it on my own. So just duck me, huh? Do not taint your victory. So this is how the great Commander Zao acts in defeat. Even in exile. My nephew is more honorable than you. The boss when you fight him. The boss when you unlock him as a playable character. Original Avatar. The Last Airbender cartoon. Actual Chinese. Live action movie thing. Literal gibberish. Members of the Team Avatar in The Legend of Korra and their equivalents in Avatar. The Last Airbender. Legend of Korra. Southern Water Tribe fella. Who is super attractive and have pretty big muscles. Brilliant detective. Princess of Northern Water Tribe is his ex. Non-bender, but still good at fighting and intelligent. Comedic relief. Avatar. The Last Airbender. Can you believe 14-year-old Dazzler delivered the best line of any villain ever? Don't flatter yourself. You were never even a player iconic. Actually the best line of any villain ever was, maybe you should worry less about the tides, who've already made up their mind about killing you, and worry more about me, who's still mulling it over. Also spoken by Azula, age 14. Sokka's Master is such an iconic episode. The A plot is about Sokka getting a dope-ace sword, the B plot is about Iroh getting swole, and the C plot is about Sokka's friends just sitting there talking about how much they love Sokka. A perfect episode from start to finish. Me watching the Avatar, The Last Airbender finale with my sister, and talking to friends at school about it. Me watching the next generation of fans love the show as I did 12 years ago. How to summarize all 3 seasons in a single screenshot. All laughing except Zuko. I need someone to be my earthbending teacher. Maybe send me an angel. The nicest angel you have. Laughing. I just realized in the scene where Iroh and Zuko reunite, Iroh has no idea about the things Zuko has done to redeem himself. He doesn't know Zuko joined the Avatar, taught him firebending, risked his life several times, etc. All Iroh knows in the moment is that his nephew found him again and is sorry, and that's enough for him to forgive Zuko everything. I think one of my favorite realizations from my Avatar, The Last Airbender rewatch is how often Iroh was just vibing with the gang, even when Zuko was still trying to capture them. Pirate episode, Iroh's just standing right next to Katara going, yeah, this kind of is your fault. OG Avatar, The Last Airbender fans. OG Avatar, The Last Airbender fans. New Avatar, The Last Airbender or Legend of Korra fans. You don't understand. The live action movie does exist. I watched it last week. Equality through persecution. Reconnection through destruction. Freedom through chaos. Order through submission. Secret tunnel through the mountain. You might think you're the greatest earthbender in the world, but even you can't bend metal. And I took that personally. It's times like this when I wish I'd listened to what Uncle told me. Why? What did he tell you? I don't know. I didn't listen. Avatar. One of the most visually impressive animated shows ever made. Also Avatar. Take a moment to remember that this guy thought during one of the most important battles in Fire Nation history, they were gonna have a birthday party for him. Yes, we all love seeing teenage kids take on oppressive governments in yacht stories, but I'm here for the old men who refuse to be products of their time and use their wisdom and influence to fight the good fight. Which TV character that arrived after the first season made the show infinitely better? Toph. You're pretty. Can I have some of your hair? No. I mean, if there was a choice between kissing you and dying. We shall meet again soon. Beautiful woman. What? I'm saying I'd rather kiss you than die. That's a compliment. I'm Milo. What should I call you other than beautiful? So, Papa? Ozai woke up thinking he was gonna take out the Earth Kingdom and ended the day getting his bending taken away by a 13-year-old vegan. Appeared in second season, instantly made the show better, willingly abandoned lavish lifestyle for squalor, locked away from society for large part of their childhoods, continue to support the gang with their wealth and connections, horrible manners, previously moonlighted as pro wrestlers, visually impaired. The fact that Iroh managed to track Aang down so quickly in Ba Sing Se is further proof that he could definitely catch Aang if he wanted to. Kissing Sokka after he saved you. It's actually Suki. It's actually Suki. That's Aang. That's Azula. That's Master Pakku. Netflix should use the cast of the last Airbender movie for their live action remake of the series to play the actors in the Ember Island Players episode. How did you find me? Well, a crazy king told me I had to find an earthbender who listens to the earth. And then I had a vision in a magic swampland. How the duck is this dude telling the truth? Ah yes, me, my husband, and his 10-ton flying bison. Toph was shown easily bending a meteorite that Sokka gave her, meaning that Toph can bend any dirt regardless if it's from Earth or not, meaning Toph could have definitely bent the moon, and the only reason she didn't do it was out of respect for Sokka and his ex-girlfriend. Toph doesn't know where the duck the moon is. Between Aang's death and Jinora's birth, Tenzin was the only remaining airbender, which is kinda terrifying amount of responsibility for someone who is not the Avatar. Avatar fans asking for a third Avatar series. Nickelodeon giving us an entire Avatar cinematic universe. How the hell did Azula survive without a helmet? Boomerangs were invented and are able to break kangaroos' necks. See, Azula isn't a kangaroo. 11-year-old radio host inspires America with her vision of hope. Is there anything you can't do? See. My name is Aang. You mean Aang right? You mean Aang right? Avatar Kyoshi was born here 400 years ago. How could you possibly know her? Well, of course I know her. She's me. Momo, just chilling at the Southern Air Temple. Aang, you amuse me. I will make you mine. My reaction when Netflix auto plays a trailer for one of their new original series. The only reason you should be interrupting me is if you have news about the Avatar. The sword is a simple tool, but in the hands of Master, it becomes the most versatile of weapons. But this show is TVY7, so you'll almost exclusively use it to knock away an opponent's weapon before kicking them off screen. It's crazy to think about that King Boomy has seen Sozin's comet 2 times in his lifetime. Don't know why some y'all shocked about Zuko being dumb enough to ask Azula no lightning today. This is the same guy who asked Katara for a rematch in the middle of the North Pole during a full moon. When you didn't know Prince Zuko was skilled with broadswords. I didn't know you were skilled with broadswords, Prince Zuko. Maybe the moon spirit just turned mean. The moon spirit is a gentle, loving lady. She rules the sky with compassion and lunar goodness. I decided to watch The Last Airbender since you recommended it to me. I understand why you like it so much now. It's a great movie. Avatar's greatest weakness, Fire Nation girls. In my vision, I saw a girl in a white dress with a pet flying ball. That's Toph, buddy. Heart and soul of the group. Drives everyone around in style. Powerful airbender. Pure cinnamon bun. Avatar's furry friend. My favorite wholesome Uncle Iroh moment when he and his nephew tried to kill 3 children by shooting them out of the sky with a giant fireball. My last boyfriend turned into the Fire Lord. I don't care. A fun reminder that Aang was a terrifyingly powerful avatar. Most avatars are informed of their newfound destinies at the age of 16 to begin their training. Because of the approaching war, Aang was told of his status at the age of 12. He had already mastered airbending, and in the span of a year, he mastered the other 3 elements, the avatar state, and energy bending. He also learned lightning redirection and seismic sense, a technique no previous avatar had even encountered. In the span of a year, this child was a terrifying force of nature. The fans say I snack because I'm overconfident, headstrong, loud, and that I think I'm the best. Funny, that's why they love me. It's just a kid's show. Gene sighed in the 3rd episode. When someone says there's war in Ba Sing Se, Iroh gives amazing advice, but you can't sleep on these guys either. Open world Avatar game. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. Zuko, waiting all night outside Katara's tent. I can't go in there, that's rude. Zuko, patiently waiting beside a sleeping Iroh. I can't wake him up, that's rude. Zuko, barging into Sokka's tent and announced, "Hey Sokka, can you tell me about your dead mom?" This is a public service announcement. If you don't specify which avatar you're talking about, it should default to Avatar: The Last Airbender, no more the Airbender or the Blue People. Nobody ever talks about the Blue People movie. You know, you're really pretty for a spirit. I don't get to meet too many spirits, but the ones I do meet, not very attractive. Duck you to Arn. Every time I see the Airbenders, they reminded me of Winnie the Pooh. I still can't believe you left me for someone 16 years younger than you. My father was 98 years older than my mother. It runs in the family. Well, I did have a girlfriend, that gloomy girl who sighs a lot. Yeah. Me in class learning about Aristotle and his theory that all matter is made up of 4 elements. All this 4 element talk is sounding like Avatar stuff. As an airbender, I'm committed to peace and preserving all life as precious and sacred. Appa, Die Butch. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Avatar: The Last Airbender. If Appa started eating mother duckers. Credit to Azula for being the only villain to just hit the hero during their elaborate power-up sequence. Are we ignoring the fact that Sokka invented pyrotechnics, submarines, made their power relevant, and found a way to escape an inescapable Fire Nation prison in half a day? Getting another live-action remake nobody asked for. Getting a spin-off show on a completely new avatar. Getting an open-world Avatar: The Last Airbender video game. Man, I love Legend of Korra villains. Can you imagine how the whole energy bending scene must have looked to Sokka and Suki? Sokka, oh my god, I think Aang's losing. Suki, you don't know that. Maybe red is Aang's color. Sokka, you think the mother ducker who was planning to genocide the entire world with fire has a blue aura? Toph, what the duck are you guys talking about? Sokka, it's the same color as his tattoos. Of course Aang is blue. Toph, Aang has tattoos? If you ever feel useless, remember the hole in Toph's surf suit. Alright. Team Avatar is back. Air, water, earth, fire, fan and sword. Oh, Toph is trending. One of my favorite Avatar, The Last Airbender animation errors is a stone armor in season 2. It was supposed to have a hole for her mouth and nose, seen on the right, but there was a mistake in the later side of production that left a hole for her eyes instead. She's blind. Members of the gang and their equivalent in The Legend of Korra, Avatar: The Last Airbender, lost their whole family. Avatar's girlfriend, strong fighting non-bender. Villaina's dad, rich girl. Legend of Korra. You, my father, who banished me just for talking out of turn. My father, who challenged me, a 13-year-old boy, to an Agni Kai. It was to teach you respect. It was cruel, and it was wrong. Then you've learned nothing. No, I've learned everything. And I've had to learn it on my own. Wow, you look beautiful. Don't talk to the commoners, Katara. People who are excited for the Netflix's live-action series, Avatar: The Last Airbender fans who are still in doubt that the series will ever meet their expectations. I once ended a 5-year relationship. I'm sorry to hear that. Must have felt terrible. It was okay. It wasn't mine. Avatar: The Last Airbender has great non-bender characters. When your nephew has his head shaved, Because of a Chinese tradition, you take full advantage of the opportunity. Kanna had to have known that women weren't permitted to learn waterbending in the north when Katara said she was traveling to find a master. Therefore it is my personal belief that Kanna sent her 14-year-old granddaughter to kick Paku's ace. The worst part of Appa's capture was the fact that the viewing audience at the time had to wait 4 months, since July 2006, when he was finally found. Those were stressful times. Barges in. Bends without bending. Refuses to elaborate. Ice. In 2004, we learned that we had to change the name of our show from Avatar to Avatar: The Last Airbender because James Cameron already had the rights to a movie called Avatar. Now the sequel is called The Way of Water. If part 3 is called The Firebending Masters, we riot. I always call them the Blue Avatar and the Good Avatar to avoid any confusion. I love how Tenzin tries so hard to be patient and serene like his father, but clearly inherited his temper from his mother. You miscalculated. I love Zuko more than I fear you. Airbnb suggests the existence of other BNBs, Water BNB, Earth BNB, but that all changed when the Fire BNB attacked. Which cartoon character had the best character development, and why? Hello, Zuko here. Today I realized that the reason Aang was sent to the Eastern Air Temple specifically was because he was meant to train and learn to control the Avatar state under Guru Pathik. Also, let us appreciate how he waited 100 years for Aang's late ace. I was a spiritual brother of your people and a personal friend of Monk Gyatso. That's why I came to the Eastern Air Temple. I've been expecting you and the young Avatar for quite some time. The Avatar will be sent away to the Eastern Air Temple to complete his training. To Aang, why aren't you saying anything? You once said you thought we could be friends. You know I have good in me, Zuko. I love how Zuko recalls Aang's speech in the Blue Spirit episode about whether they could one day be friends. Aang made that comment almost a year ago, and we can tell Zuko's been thinking about it ever since. Zuko's character arc cannot be rivaled. Boulder. Listen up, Hippo. You may be big, but you ain't bad. The Boulder's gonna win this in a landslide. Negatory. The Boulder and the Hippo no longer fight for others' entertainment. Now, we fight for our kingdom. 2 random moments from Zuko's character arc. How stupid do you think I am? I can't believe how stupid I am. Okay guys, we need an idea for teaching Aang firebending. I could just not learn it. We could find Jan Jan. Hello, Zuko here. I do not believe with a single fiber of my being that this character would ever have chosen to become a cop. Your unpopular opinions on Toph. Sure, it was incredibly obvious that Zuko used firebending to light those lanterns, but have we considered the possibility that Jin didn't say anything because of the whole there is no war in Ba Sing Se mentality, aka implying that Ba Sing Se residents just don't consider firebenders an actual treat or anything out of the ordinary? No one batted an eye when Jet came in screaming that Iroh and Zuko were firebenders, so it's entirely possible that many Ba Sing Se residents have been conditioned to not be worried about that at all. Meditate on what attaches you to this world. Duck you too, buddy. Today we talk about how Ty Lee stopped flirting with Sokka when he told her he's involved with Suki, a respectful queen who knows her boundaries. She was born ducky. I was ducky to be born. Zuko, I can't put my finger on it, but there's something off about her this time. Azula. Zuko, Azula always lies. Azula always lies. Azula, father changed his mind and wants you to come back home. Zuko, you son of a butch, I know. Original versus final designs. Suki going to Sokka's tent. Zuko going to Sokka's tent. The Virgin Metal Prison Warden. No. Please, I can't swim. The Chad Boiling Rock Prison Warden. Cut the line. If you're jumping on the Avatar: The Last Airbender bandwagon just because it's on Netflix and never even watched it as a kid, let me just be straightforward. Welcome aboard. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did or do. I don't think it's fair to compare The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. One is a lesson in tolerance and kindness, the other is a lesson in humanity. New Avatar fans will never experience the suspense of this man's face for almost 2 years. How ducking strong is Zuko like? Why do you even bother with your bending when you could just wham bam snap Aang's spine with a kick? Sokka, how are we going to get in? Zuko, don't worry, I'm a master firebender. Zuko, smash his window. Stop making Sokka the dumb one in the fics and Zuko the smart one. Sokka invented submarines and Zuko asked his mentally unstable sister to shot lighting at him. We all know the truth. 6 years old, 112 years old, 113 years old, 140 years old, 166 years old. Being intelligent isn't exactly a prerequisite for the fire army. That lemur, he's earthbending. Hey, I think I've heard of Pentaprox. I can't believe the captain remembered my birthday. He really does care. Oh, to be an airbender and have tea with baby bison. Looking back on all of Avatar, making Topher Cop is maybe the worst writing decision ever. Chime is literally one of her favorite things. You amuse me. I will make you mine. Like as a boyfriend or a sleeve. Yes. Why'd they do Sokka so dirty? Katara, a member of the water tribe and sister of Sokka. She's been gifted with the power to bend water. Sokka, Katara's brother. Easter egg, Aang actually demonstrates earthbending ability before meeting Toph. In this scene, you can see him digging a hole at superhuman speed. I'm saying I would rather kiss you than die. That's a compliment. Right Lotus secret code for you ducked up. Kept noticing a flash of pink during the intro. Pausing did not disappoint. The character development no one talks about. Aang's flirting. So, papaya. Everyone's watching. Don't worry about them. It's just you and me right now. Appreciation for Avatar normalizing crying in men. How different people see Azula. How Ozai sees her. How Ursa sees her. How Zuko sees her. How Toph sees her. 3 Avatar villains to protect you. The rest try to kill you. You miscalculated. I love Zuko more than I fear you. Someone pointed out that Zuko usually sleeps on his scarred side, so he can hear better while he sleeps. And the only times he doesn't is when he's with people he trusts. Episode 10. I've never used bending on water I can't see. Episode 4. Episode 6. The boy you like. His father. His sister. His ex. His crush. You. Avatar Kiruk likes women. Avatar Kyoshi likes women. Avatar Oku likes women. Avatar Aang likes women. Avatar Korra likes women. Why are you guy? Can we please talk about this? This is just 3 years after his father threw a fistful of fire at him to burn half his face off. But when his uncle does this, he doesn't even flinch. I mean, the trust. The airbenders during 1-0 could all fly because they had no earthly attachment. However, once they met the sky bison and adopted them, they weren't able to fly because they became attached to them. I love how Zuko says these criminals can take down any bender. Together they can take down the entire world about the Red Lotus, and then a minute later, when the guard asks him where he's going, he's like to stop them. He knows no fear. Zuko and Sokka on the way to their prison break. Zuko, so this is my war balloon. To get it to work you have to. Sokka, I know, I helped invent it. Zuko, what? When I say Avatar, people still instantly think of The Last Airbender. Have your billions, never have the streets. Me, finishing Avatar, The Last Airbender. Wow, that was so beautiful. The score really does it to me. I'm so happy everyone is happy, and they are all a big family. The comics. If you ever see me turning into my father, I want you to. I want you to end me. I just realized that throughout these seasons, Ira was mostly messing around. If he actually became serious and gave 100% of his abilities, efforts, and resources into capturing Aang, the show would have ended quickly. There you are, filthy peasant. Every time I watch this scene, I imagine that if the creators had made fictional languages for Avatar, Azula would have definitely been calling Katara a made-up ducking racial slur right here. Aang is the only known Avatar to have met all 4 of the original benders. Scamming people is wrong, and doing it draws too much attention to the group. If Toph could see, and also knew the plot of the waterbending scroll, she'd be very upset. Next time you get in my way, I promise, I won't hold back. Take my hand. I've already said it a lot on my blog, but, as always, no matter how many times Zuko threatens extreme violence, again, trying to fit in with the social norms of the Fire Nation, he can't because of his moral compass. Zuko, the villain's story started with a selfless act. The hero's story started with a selfish act. You're allowed one F-bomb in the series, where would you place it? Did Jet just ducking die? Him, I can fix her. My favorite thing about Avatar, The Last Airbender is that when they are looking for an earthbending master for Aang, and the school doesn't pan out, their second option is to go to a WrestleMania kind of thing, to find him a teacher. I mean, if that isn't accurate 12-year-old thinking, I don't know what is. Water Tribe characters as they are portrayed in Avatar, The Last Airbender. Water Tribe characters according to Twitter fans. All 4 of Aang's grandchildren have different eye colors, representing each of the 4 elements. The order they were born in follows the Avatar cycle. Janora, Fire, Aiki, Air, Milo, Water, and Rohan, Earth. Maybe I like being bad? Azula needs a redemption arc. That's the tweet. Azula, you need a redemption arc. I know what it feels like. It feels good. The power, everything. But you'll lose yourself. Let it go. I like being bad. It makes me happy. How did Appa breed, if he was the last sky bison? After the events of the century-old war, Aang found an island inhabited by a different species of flying bison and winged lemurs. These included ring-tailed winged lemurs and sky bison with more stripes on their back, hence why they look different in Legend of Korra than they did in Avatar, The Last Airbender. I really am the last airbender. I really am the Legend of Korra. Uncle Iroh created, I repeat, created a counter to firebenders shooting lightning. General Iroh or Fire Lord Ozai, who's better at firebending? Perhaps you relied on my master's vow against using lethal force. Let me assure you that I subscribe to no such niceties. Now tell me, who is it? Who's the waterbender? It's my daughter Katara. If you hurry, you can catch her before she reaches her father. I prefer the real anti-avatar. I said the real anti-avatar. Soccer mastered all 4 non-bending styles from each nation. Perfection. Today we are thinking about the contrast of Aang at the beginning of season 3, defeated after Ba Sing Se, forced to hide his tattoos, any keepsakes he had destroyed, with Aang at the end of season 3, having won the war without having to compromise his values, wearing his tattoos and traditional air nomad robes proudly, and knowing that he did right by his people. Currently thinking about 18 or 19-year-old Toph getting thrown in some random podunk Fire Nation town's 1-cell jail, and being like, hey, I'm broke as hell, but I've got a friend who can bail me out, can I make a call? And then 2 hours later Fire Lord Zuko himself slams open the door yelling, what the duck did you do this time, you shut? The Fire Lord proceeds to yell at your prisoner for 2 hours and then leave. 5 minutes later she breaks out on her own. Zuko had 1 child, only because he grew up with a toxic sibling rivalry and didn't want it to happen again. Aang had multiple children because he grew up alone and had no family. What the flamia just happened? I broke up with the Avatar. You got off easy. You should have seen Air Temple Island after Tenzin broke up with me. Sharing tea with a fascinating stranger is one of life's true delights. What a great pleasure to hang with Butteration Dude, a tale of 2 Irohs. You know, Zuko, I don't care what everyone else says about you. You're pretty smart. In the next Avatar show after Korra, there's going to be some cringe ace scene where a modern day firebender firebends to light a cigarette. Let's check back in like 3 years and see if I'm right. China, Japan, Inuit, India, United States, 1940s Germany. Thinking about how Amonans here were kinda right and made valid points, but their section was just so wrong and problematic. The government of Ba Sing Se will not deny the war in Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender series. I think it's wrong for a government to lie to its people. So we are changing that. There is war in Ba Sing Se. He was a deadbeat father to 2 of his kids because they weren't airbenders. Aang will never get my respect. Aang and Katara's family portrait from the Legend of Korra. I could spend an eternity in here. I could just stay in here forever, reading. The last human who said that is still here. The Avatar world is literally lucky the airbenders were pacifists. Big Kyoshi, Chin the Conqueror rises to power. Do nothing. Chin the Conqueror starts conquering. Do nothing. Chin conquers almost entire Earth Kingdom. Do nothing. Wait for him to get to shutty backwoods peninsula you live at. Accidentally kill him while running away. Fandom thinks you're a ruthless bad ace. Why does the fandom think like this? You must be decisive. You must be proactive. Sacrifice your values. Kill him. Only justice will bring peace. I have a surprise for everyone. I knew it. You did have a secret thing with Haru. No. Aang really went to school for 2 days, beat up the class bully, stole his girlfriend, hosted an illegal dance party, and started a new fashion trend. Bro was so unhinged. You've always thrown everything you could at me. Well, I can take it. And now I can give it back. Come on, strike me. You've never held back before. He should have had the same sympathy for Azula as he had for Zuko. This might be hard, but say something bad about Iroh. Imagine being Ursa, getting your memories back, to see your half of your son's face being scarred and burned by your husband and your daughter being broken and hating you. The air nomads are the only group of people that cannot give birth to non-benders. Due to their high spirituality, all air nomads are airbenders. You're never gonna see me say, if you kill your oppressor, you're just as bad as them. But Aang taking away Ozai's bending was the most devastating thing he could have done to him. The Fire Lord having his powers revoked by an airbender child. I know he felt genuine fear. Your unpopular opinions on Aang. Zuko to Iroh, what are you doing firebending your tea? For a wise old man, that was a pretty stupid move. Also Zuko, okay, now you can look. We want a new series done by the same team as the original. Y'all can't even handle the one that's there. I don't understand why people hate Korra so much. They act like the writing is so terrible, like it's the live action movie. It's because they made it politically motivated. Suki, you know about giant sea monsters. Make it go away. Because I live near the Anaji, I'm an expert. My advice is to feed it the lemur. When faced with a genocidal totalitarian dictator who literally wants to murder the entire world, I can't do it, no matter what he's done. It isn't right. When a few desert bandits stole his pet. Dear Katara, sorry for everything. Your friend, Toph. I know this is from you, Sokka. Toph can't write. You will teach me the advanced set. I refuse. You are a rude child and I will not put up with your abase. If Aang lost connection to the past lives, he wouldn't be receiving half the hate Korra does. I think we can all agree that this was Zuko's superior look. Oh Sokka, you saved me. Actually, it's me. Oh, well. Haha. You can go ahead and let me drown now. And you deserve revenge, so why don't you take my mother? That would be fair. Fine. We are not leaving until we find the waterbender. It's me. Take me as your prisoner. Prove it. Do some waterbending. Okay, you got me. At least I tried though, LMRO. On to the painted lady, you know, you are really pretty for a spirit. I don't get to meet too many spirits, but the ones I do meet, not very pretty. Am I a joke to you? This is all your fault. Butch, how is it my fault? I told him not to play with fire. I didn't even want to teach him in the first place. Was Azula going for fire bending or lightning bending here? The Avatar's deciding how to deal with an enemy. The Avatar's deciding that women are heat. Never noticed Momo screaming with the gun when Hammer arrived. Thinking Toph wouldn't become a cop because she doesn't like following rules. Thinking that's exactly why Toph would become a cop. It's time for you to look inward and start asking yourself the big questions. Will Netflix cancel Avatar: The Last Airbender like every other show? Or will they let this show have finale? So I get to brag about slaying a dragon and I don't even have to fight them? Sure, I'll lie to protect them. Every squad got the rich one, the mob, the comedian, the one with a car, the one who needs to regain his lost honor. You might think you're the greatest earthbender in the world, but even you can't bend metal, and I took that personally. Netflix Avatar dialogue in a nutshell. I like to play airball and eat banana cakes and goof off with my friends. Relationships: Katara is one of his closest friends and it's implied there. What about you, Katara? This article is a stub. You can help Avatar Wiki by expanding it. I feel so seen. I always say, the only thing better than finding what you're looking for is finding something you weren't looking for at a great bargain. What are you doing here? You mean it's not obvious yet? I'm about to celebrate becoming an only child. I can't believe you're friends with Monk Gyatso just like I was. Some friendships are so strong, they can even transcend lifetimes. When Avatar mixes animals, a cute turtle duck. When Full Metal Alchemist mixes animals. Princess Azula, out here living my best life. Uncle Iroh, Zuko is drowning. Princess Azula, this ain't about him. I think it's neat that Armadillosaurus was an actual animal. It's literally something you'd see in Avatar: The Last Airbender. In the comics, the blue spirit mask comes from a play that Zuko's family used to watch named Love Amongst the Dragons, and he was actually a bad water tribe spirit. It adds more thematic parallels between Katara and Zuko, because the painted lady was a good Fire Nation spirit. Zuko wearing a water tribe spirit mask despite being from the Fire Nation. Katara pretending to be a Fire Nation spirit despite being from the water tribe. Woohoo. Come, one and all. Come marvel at Sokka the Southern Water Tribe's manly beanbag tossing skills. I'm marveling. Where was Art during the Industrial Revolution? It's the Avatar's job to protect nature, but I don't know how to do my job. When Ozai accepted Zuko back in book 3, do you think he had the intention of letting Zuko be his heir? Are you sure that's the worst thing he did to Jet? He brainwashed our friend. Shades of tears, sadness, anger, guilt, resentment, joy, hope. In a world full of uncles, Uncle Iroh and Uncle Phil are the best. How come he don't want me, man? The only moment the live action did a perfect job, giving credit where credit is due. Nobody, pregnant Californians, it's a boy. Katara, I knew you wouldn't understand. You all don't know how much I've suffered after my mother's doubt. My father burned my face, and my mother left me. We have the same parents. I don't even know my biological parents. There is no pandemic in USA. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. Netflix, since you enjoyed Avatar: The Last Airbender, you might enjoy The Last Airbender. Me, no, I don't think I will. I was the best man on both sides of a lesbian wedding, because I had dated both the bride and the bride, stayed close friends, and introduced them to each other after our breakups. I'm aware of the effect I have on women. The boys on their own. The boys together. I'm gonna send a note to Katara and say it's from Toph who wants to apologize. Azula, Katara only beat me because I had a breakdown. Zuko, she didn't even use blood bending on you. Azula, blood, what? The fandom when Katara has a mood swing. The fandom when Zuko commits a war crime. Aang not wanting to kill the Fire Lord. Sokka, Toph, and Suki killing thousands of Fire Nation soldiers by crashing the airships. The spirit world in The Legend of Korra. The spirit world in Avatar, The Last Airbender. In this moment, she was ready to give it up for our boy Zuko, and here he is like the lanterns are pretty. What it felt like looking at old signatures and textbooks. How's your Monday, unknown social media manager person? I think I'm depressed. LMRO. Hi, Vicky here, managing director of socials for Amazon Prime Video. Apologies for the last message, that was an accident, and will not be happening again. We are having a fabulous Monday and hope you are as well. There are no mistreated workers at Amazon. The entire Southern Waterbenders population, the entire Metal Benders population, and the entire Air Nomads population sitting around a table for dinner. Me, midway through season 1. Hey, couldn't you technically bend the water in someone's body? That'd be cool. Me after the Puppet Master. The Order of the White Lotus getting ready to take back Ba Sing Se. My girlfriend is like the sun. Explain. She's a star and makes my day bright by simply existing. My first girlfriend turned into the moon. That's rough, buddy. Zuko is in the middle of a snowy wasteland in a blizzard, at his weakest facing a waterbender and the Avatar in the middle of the night on a full moon. Also Zuko, I didn't hear no bell. Avatar, The Last Airbender, creating your childhood crushes. Ah yes, me, my girlfriend, and her brand new glowing celestial body. When Netflix doesn't stream Avatar, The Last Airbender in your country, so you open your VPN. Secret tunnel. Some Americans worry vaccines will have microchips to track them, their phones. Zuko, I'm sorry I sent Combustion Man to kill you. Everyone. What? Zuko. Shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that. Single-handedly ending the 100-year war by just waltzing into the Fire Nation's royal palace on a full moon. Squidnapping civilians. Who would win in a fight between Aang and Korra isn't even a question, because Aang would be like I would never fight with one of my future lives and Korra would not hesitate before snacker punching a 12-year-old. Time traveler moves a chair. The timeline. Katara, I've done as much as I can for the lightning wound, but it's gonna leave a scar. Sorry Zuko. Zuko, hey, what's another scar from a family member? Am I right? LMRO. Sokka, what? Zuko, the scar on my eye. Did I never tell you guys my father did that? Later in Ozai's cell. Katara. Sokka. Stop doing fraud. Clean your stuff. You're not my mom. Check this, my new bird. Cool. Growing up, we were taught that the Fire Nation was the greatest civilization in history, and somehow, the war was our way of sharing our greatness with the rest of the world, Americans. Avatar veterans who started watching the show 15 years ago, me who just finished watching it for the first time on Netflix. Katara, I'm glad we have another girl in the group. Sokka and Aang are ridiculous. Toph after joining the group. Sokka, Toph, Aang. I'm a grown man. I'm a big adult. I can do this. I'm sorry I didn't turn out to be an airbender like you hoped. I did my best to keep the world safe. I hope I made you proud, Dad. Why are we lying in the middle of the desert? You knocked yourself unconscious while trying to earthbend. So I laid down next to you, so everyone would think we were chillin'. Toph at the beginning of book 2. I'm the greatest earthbender in the world. Toph at the end of book 2. Now I can do metal bending too. I'm still the greatest earthbender in the world. Girls talking about their first boyfriend. Was that guy your boyfriend or something? What? No. Guys talking about their first girlfriend. My first girlfriend turned into the moon. That's rough, buddy. Can you imagine how much pain Aang felt when he found out his whole culture was taken away from him? That pales in comparison to my mom dying. Ah. Sokka. I'm sorry. Toph. Katara. Kyoshi. Ozai. Ah. No. Ozai accidentally unlocks Aang's avatar state. Kyoshi. Now we do things my way. The one cabbage vendor. You took everything from me. Team Avatar. I don't even know who you are. My friend watching Avatar, The Last Airbender for the first time. Couldn't waterbenders control someone's body, since humans are 70% water? That would be so cool. Me. The members of the White Lotus, when Uncle Iroh showed up. I have done nothing wrong, ever, in my life. Fandom. I know this, and I love you. Squidnappers, we have your father. Zuko, my father is in prison. Squidnappers, he made us reevaluate our life choices, and now we feel really bad. So can you come pick him up? Zuko, oh my gosh, you have my uncle. Squidnappers, I'm going to become a painter. When you bulk the sun, so your boyfriend can stop the Fire Nation, and he wastes time worrying about Suki. Me finally rewatching Atla as an adult and realizing where my attraction to women with choke collars came from. It was you. That moment when you think, wow, it sure is creepy how first thing in the morning these poor Fire Nation kids have to stand up to recite an oath of loyalty to their nation every day in school. Wait a minute. Duck. People who like Zuko. People who like Aang. He's nice. Sokka's space sword. Sokka's boomerang. Sokka. My. Being too powerful with their hair down. When you're listening to the villain's speech, and they're low-key making a lot of sense. Did I ever tell you what gender my child is? I'm not interested in a lengthy anecdote, uncle. It's more of a demonstration. Really? Dads when they see dudes checking out their daughter. Dads when they see ladies checking out their son. Zuko. Iroh. That kid is a master of evasive maneuvers. Ah. La 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 la. When you first meet her and wonder why she's single versus 4 months into the relationship and now you know why. Sokka. There's gotta be someone who can teach Aang firebending. Zuko. Nobody. Sokka after he hit that cactus juice. Sandbender. I didn't know it was the Avatar's bison. Kyoshi. Shame. 6 teenagers are subjected to the horrors of what is essentially the last Airbender movie for them. My first girlfriend ran off into the spirit world with my second girlfriend. That's rough, buddy. Copper face stealer. Ah. Zuko trying to join the gang. I have done everything wrong, ever, in my life. Appa. I know this, and I love you. Ah. Lives during the early industrial revolution. Korra lives around the 1920s. The next Avatar. Book 1 Katara. I wanna learn water bending. Book 3 Katara. Water Butch. First, I gotta storm the capital. And then what? Air nomads finding the next Avatar. Haha bending go BRR. No. You can't just take his bending. You have to kill him. Saki enters into Sokka's tent in the middle of the night. You. Mylinga. What did you do to me? Band-Aid. I took away your bending. Zuko's family in Avatar. The Last Airbender. Aang and Katara's families in Avatar. The Last Airbender. Zuko's family in Legend of Korra. Aang and Katara's family in Legend of Korra. I want to commit genocide. Duck off. I wasn't loved as a child. Also, I want to commit genocide. Wow. They're so sympathetic. Who's really the bad guy here? America right now. Whoa. That's a lot of fire, isn't it? Do you like Korra? No, she is too arrogant. who is your favorite character in Avatar: The Last Airbender? Toph. They could have been the greatest sibling group, but their father snacks at parenting club. A full moon will be visible on Halloween for the first time since 1944. The quiet waterbending kid. The audience after Zuko sides with Azula instead of Aang in the book 2 finale. We were on the verge of greatness, we were this close. Aang in the comics. Sigh. I hate destroying things. The cabbage merchant. Why do you look sad, Daddy? Book 2, Earth, Chapter 16. Appa's Lost Days. When you're trying to get snacks from the kitchen, but your mom has company over, and you don't want to introduce yourself. If we are quiet, we should be able to navigate without being caught. Katara teaching Aang waterbending. Toph teaching Aang earthbending. I don't need any protection. And that's how I was made. Mom, you can't just post an image of Legos and expect the Avatar fanbase to understand it. Me, an intellectual. Me, after finishing Avatar: The Last Airbender. I wonder what happened to Azula. Did she go to jail? Better read the comics. The comics. Mental institution. Crazy. Butch need a straight jacket. I know what you're going to say. That 2020 is only halfway done, and I should learn to be optimistic about the second half of the year. No, 2020 is crazy, and it needs to go down. Can you imagine how much pain Aang felt when he found out his whole culture was taken away from him? Aang literally the next day after finding out. Mom, who is your favorite? Sweetie, I love you both equally. It's you, and by a lot. We need a riot. You wouldn't happen to know how to start one, would you? A prison riot? Please. Hey everyone. Netflix is continuing with the live action series without Bryke. You know who else got killed by the Fire Nation? Oh, your villains alright, just not super ones. Yeah? What's the difference? Presentation. When you want more Avatar: The Last Airbender, but fear Netflix is going to do a bad adaptation. The Boulder feels conflicted. Katara in season 1. Katara in season 3. My being depressing as hell. Zuko, joke's on you, I'm into that shit. Your knees. What did you do to me? Age 30. I took away your bending. Find a beautiful girl. She is the princess of the Northern Water Tribe. She turns into the moon. She turns into the moon. It takes 72 muscles to frown, and only 14 to smile. Bodybuilders. Zuko and Azula can both be referred to as Zuzu, as they both have Zoo in their names. Sir, this is a tea shop. Mom, why'd you stop cleaning your room? Me with all the stuff I lost 6 years ago. Getting mad at Legend of Korra for having really poor pacing. Realizing it isn't the show's fault, and that Nickelodeon screwed up their release schedule. The Legend of Korra intro starts: when I was a boy, my father, Avatar I, told me the story of how he and his friends heroically ended the 100 Years' War. Me, I was there. Hard to swallow pills. Zuko would have taken that lightning bolt for any member of the guard. Procrastinators most of the time. Procrastinators 30 minutes before an assignment is due. Having highly experienced military officers find the Avatar. Having two emotionally unstable teenagers do it. The risk I took was calculated. But man, am I bad at math. Sokka and Aang, when they sent the apology letter to Katara saying that was from Toph. Infinite IQ. Zuko going from banished prince to crown prince to traitor to king in only 3 months. Parker. Don't be intimidated, Squidward. Try to imagine him in his underwear. Oh no, he's heat. They don't know I'm the Avatar. I'm finally a normal boy. Aang enters the Avatar state. Azula. Thinking about the fact that Katara met 4 different avatars. Intro on the Sozin's Comet episode. Although his airbending skills are great, he still has a lot to learn before he's ready to save anyone. Me noticing it's the last episode. Prince Zuko, you're really going to get a kick out of this. The avatar was in my sleeve the whole time. I turned myself into a pickle. Morty, amateur. It's so heat. Momo is shedding like Appa. I guess the jokes don't run in the family. My mother used to run in the family. New element detected. Soccer bending. Percy Jackson. Avatar. The Last Airbender. Not having a film. Past Avatar wisdom. You must be decisive. Actively seek out your duties. Do whatever you need to protect the world. End that mother ducker's life. Ice. Rather. My account. My account. Change avatar. My account. The viewers. Careful now, girl. I enjoy you, but be careful. When I take the wrong turn with the GPS on me, I thought you would be furious with me. GPS. I was never angry with you. GPS. I was sad. Because I was afraid you'd lost your way. You're a 12-year-old kid who's been given the biggest responsibility in the world, so you run away and get knocked unconscious. 100 years have passed, your whole culture has been eradicated, and you have to beat the leader of the nation that killed them by yourself. When the tea hits just right. Me being an ancient airbender, vibing with my fellow air nomads. Life is good. One day, I suddenly bend an element that is not air. A voice appears in my head that starts going off about destiny. Lose the fight and be called an incompetent, worthless avatar. Win the fight and be called an overpowered Mary Sue. We are living our best lives. Mako and Bolin are drowning. This isn't about them. It's time for you to look inward and begin asking yourself the big questions. How the heck did this show's animators get so good at drawing hands? They should make a prequel to Avatar, because they have thousands of avatars to choose from. I'm taking away your honey for good. You is technically in every episode after season 1 episode 20. Change my mind. Katara in every fight scene. I'm a healer, but Fire Nation citizens during the entirety of Legend of Korra. Dadak they doing over there. Images that precede legendary events. Cues and from the perspective of the other students. Shows up out of nowhere. Talks back to his teachers. Beats up the school bully. Steals his girl. Throws the most rad or illegal party in history. Dances in the center circle with unprecedented riz. Refuses to elaborate. Leaves. Boys, girls are shallow and basic. They are only sad about Titanic. Girls, hope I made you proud. The massacre of his people. Aang asking his crush to go penguin sledding. People saying you have to be balanced and in control to lightning bend. Azula and her mental breakdown. That sign won't stop me because I can't read. Avatar. 20 things Korra can do that Aang can't. 1. Hug her parents. Insta normies. She's wearing the same shirt as me. I have to go change. Me and the girls. You and the boys. Going through some shut. Katara. Did you ever hear the tragedy of my mom? If you think you can't do some things, don't worry. Kuvira went from dancer to dictator. Katara. Blood bends with no warning. Also Katara almost turns a ducker into a pincushion with rain. Zuko, noted. You'd forgive me so easily? Yes. POV, they forgot to close the tent. His energy in this moment. Gee, I'd love to help, but I'm supposed to be boiled in oil. When you sacrifice yourself to save the moon spirit, and people only remember you for that one meme. That's rough, buddy. The Avatar after Korra entering the Avatar state. Wait, where are all of the other avatars? Korra, it's just you and me. Oh my god, Avatar, The Last Airbender the complete series. I wanna buy this. Great. And as a bonus, I'll throw in The Last Airbender by M. Night Shyamalan. If that DVD even touches the animated series, I will kill you. I forced on to the Avatar state. I forced on to the Avatar state. Katara blaming Zuko for her mother's doubt. Zuko, who was 10 when it happened. If Avatar came out in the 2010s, my first girlfriend turned into the moon, it really do be like that sometimes. Second half of Suzin's Comet Part 4 be like. How to save the air nomads. Sokka, explaining why Aang needs to impregnate as many non-bender women as possible to repopulate the air nomads. Aang, who just wants to be loyal to his wife. When you had the guts to challenge Master Pakku and put up a good fight, but the thing that convinced Pakku to teach you waterbending was some necklace. Katara had never seen such bullshit. Girls only cry over basic trash. Boys only cry over stupid shit. In honor of Mako. Uncle Iroh is not the wise, kind-hearted old man that everyone makes him out to be. Sorry I don't speak wrong. I want everyone to be equal. I want everyone to be free. I want everyone to be unified. I want everyone to be on fire. Dragons, teach humans firebending. Fire Nation, let's hunt down every last dragon for glory in the title of dragon. Dragons. Since you can't see, I should tell you, I'm rolling my eyes. Indiana Jones and the audacity of this butch. A child starts crying in public, tries to make the child laugh, tries to play with the child to make them calm down, gives detailed instructions to the parents, cries with the child, ignores the child, is the reason why the child is crying. Your uncle was right. It was helpful talking to you. Wait, you spoke with my uncle? Yes, in the spirit world. A couple of times actually. Lie down. Try not to cry. Cry a lot. When you're watching Korra and realize that Appa had to die at some point. On taking away Ozai's bending, you're powerless now. Suki and Sokka. Earth Kingdom. Ba Sing says walls are impenetrable. Fire Nation. You'll forget about Baby Yoda, we got Baby Appa. Aang's worst enemy. Korra's worst enemy. Roku's worst enemy. Krakatoa. Me at the start of Iroh's Tale. Me at the end of Iroh's Tale. Avatar. The Last Airbender fans. Where's Suki? The Legend of Korra. Who the hell is Suki? I was rewatching the Katara vs Pakku fight scene and I just realized that when Katara was throwing ice discs, she was really aiming for the kill at that point. Like those were sharp enough to slice through the man. What a legend. Katara had big Kyoshi energy. Katara, straight up trying to kill Pakku. If he's really a master, he'll survive. Do you really think that drinking tea all day while goofing around with my son is better than being the mother ducking Fire Lord? Yes. Sokka after meeting with Suki. Sokka, respect women juice. I can explain. You get a first and last name, and I'm just Katara. First name, I only have the name Sokka made up. You guys are getting names. People who got into Avatar, The Last Airbender through memes when Sokka's girlfriend actually turns into the ducking moon. New password. Katara at the start of the show. Weak. New password. Katara at the end of the show. Strong. Dwayne Johnson should play the boulder in the live action Avatar. Change my mind. Fans who don't know what war chime actually is. Iroh is a war criminal cause he fought in a war and killed people during the siege of Ba Sing Se. Fighting in a war is not equal to war chime. There is no canonical incidents that Iroh committed any war chimes. By your logic, the entire gang are war criminals for invading and besieging the Fire Nation capital city, and laws of war don't exist in Avatar, The Last Airbender. Me watching this scene. Me at 6 years old. Me at 19 years old. Me while doing this meme. Question. Why the duck does Toph have a desk and a filing cabinet? Did she request them as props so she could be dramatic? Who the duck is giving her paperwork? Whose case file did she destroy? Lol, can I borrow your office? I need to scare my kids. Those Earth Kingdom soldiers. Uncle I rob. Call an ambulance. Uncle I rob, but not for me. Ozai. Momo who can defeat Ozai with ease, but wants Arn to have fun. Never forget the time Arn told a kid on a wheelchair, I can do more than just fancy gliding, and then started running. I can do more than just fancy gliding. Wow, I don't think I can do that. Okay, maybe it did happen Avatar, but all of the air temples? Seems a little far-fetched, don't you think? Avatar writers having to nerf Azula for the finale. Godly blue firebending. Immense physical prowess. Genius level intellect. Psychotic break. Never forget that Asami Sato brought Korra an entire airship for a single mission like the dramatic bisexual yearning for the avatar she is.